You see, people get corrupted when they know there are no consequences for their actions. You know, when they know they could get away with things, they get corrupted. But when they know that there are consequences, people then begin to behave. It's as simple as that. If there are no consequences for not respecting you, then what?
Like a boss.
All right, ladies, this is a very important topic. So please watch the whole video or I'm closing the channel. And don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. And don't forget, we're having a seminar in London. It's about non-verbal communication. I'm really excited about this, man. This is going to be, I'm just excited about this, people. It's going to be a 2-day seminar in London. So if you're in Europe, you better come to this one because I'm not going to the other states, people. I'm just letting you guys know I am not going to take a layover flight. No, you guys have to attend this one. Or you guys can attend online. You can purchase the online tickets in the description down below or in person, all right? So let's begin with the video. So many years ago, when I was living in Amsterdam for like a few months, there was a client who was from a very religious background. And she told me that she was taught to be submissive to her man, to please him and stuff like that. And initially there was no problem with that, right? Because he was also not submissive to her, but they were depending on each other, right? They were hanging out all the time and stuff like that. And one day, she got fed up with him, and she kicked him out the house, right? And to his surprise, he couldn't believe he couldn't believe that, because for all the time, for the decade that they were together, he never once imagined that she would ever do that to him, right? And after she did that, she called me as a result, right? And she asked me, what should I do? And I told her, look, it's important that you did that, because for that whole decade that you guys were together, the love and respect that he had for you was suppressed. And the reason why is because you were completely submissive to him without condition. And you're doing him a disservice. First of all, you're doing the guy a disservice by being submissive without conditions. Because even though he loves you, even though he appreciates you as a person, there's a part of human nature that gets extra aggressive at the sign of submission without condition. Politicians, a lot of them start out with good intentions. I don't know how many of them, but I imagine some of them start out with good intentions. But what tends to happen is that they get a taste of power. They see the way people look at them, the way people submit to them, the way people follow their every order, and they get drunk with power. And that drunkenness with power leads them to do things that they never thought they would ever do. Getting drunk with that type of power leads them to corrupt their values and to start seeing people as though they're not human. You completely start dehumanizing people because you feel like you're above them, right? And it's something that a lot of people who gain power will tell you that their personality change unwittingly. And the reason why is this: they're not aware of the corrupting nature of power. They're not aware of how it could completely, like a virus or a parasite, take over your psychology and completely reconfigure your values, completely reconfigure what you consider to be good or bad, because it's little steps that you begin to rationalize. And I remember when I was once dating this girl she was literally the most submissive girl I've ever dated, to be honest with you. It was like during the pandemic. And I remember, man, like she was just super submissive. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I started noticing how I started taking longer to text her because I knew she will still be there. I started noticing how I would like do selfish stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just I was just a selfish person with her. And it's not that I was selfish. I'm not a selfish person. I'm a really nice person. I'm not making excuses, people. But I was shocked, even myself, that that I would take days to respond, not days to respond, but like a whole day to respond. And the reason why I did that is because I knew she would be there. And then one day she told me she just pulled away for like a week, and I was like, she'll be back, and she didn't go back until I went back to her, and then she acted like she was just busy. But I remember ever since then, I treated her with more respect. Now, that was a flaw on me, right? That was my flaw as a person. That was a character flaw that I had to work on. But it's a two-way street, right? Because you don't want to get to that point where the person that you're seeing can't respect you because you let them get away with shit. Pretty much that. You let them get away with disrespect, and people can sense it. So what I told this client, right? This is what I told, the advice that I gave this client, because this is such a common thing, right? Especially women who come from religious background, or you saw, or your parents, your mother was maybe abused by her dad, by her husband, and you grew up seeing women be completely submissive to men. And so you never learn how to stand up for yourself, right? Because we as humans, we observe people on how to behave, on what the standard of behavior is. And if we see complete submission without condition, we're going to unconsciously learn that. And we're going to bring that reality into our lives unwittingly. You grow comfortable with somebody having power, complete power over you. And the fear of walking away creates an anxiety inside of you that is consistently there, that consistently marinates everything. That unwillingness to walk away marinates your nonverbal cues, marinates the way you talk, your voice inflection, your unconscious reaction at disapproval from the person. All of that creates a vibe that fosters weeds inside the other person, where they cannot help but take advantage of you, where they know they could get away with it. You see, people get corrupted when they know there are no consequences for their actions. You know, when they know they could get away with things, they get corrupted. But when they know that there are consequences, people then begin to behave. It's as simple as that. If there are no consequences for not respecting you, then what the hell do you think you're doing? You're reinforcing that because they know what they're doing is wrong. So let's talk about how to utilize the power of walking away after this commercial break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't purchased any of my courses, we have a special bundle deal for everyone. So that you could purchase all of my courses, meaning you could purchase the psychological game of attraction, natural chemistry, and Nice Girl, along with all of the bonuses. Originally, if you purchase everything without the bundle, it'll be around $500, to be honest with you. But right now, if you guys purchase it with the bundle, you guys will be able to get all of these courses: psychological game of attraction, which is for women who are single; natural chemistry, which is for women who are in a relationship; Nice Girl, which is a course on assertiveness, along with all of the bonuses: social mastery, practical mastery in terms of how to master anything, social mastery in terms of how to master your social skills, and the laws of human nature, wherein it's part of the Robert Greene book club I used to have. All of these, naturally, like I said, it's $500. Now you get it at $394, which is essentially 20% off everything. But if you guys want to purchase a more affordable bundle, you guys can purchase the bundle without the bonuses, and that will be at $224 rather than the $300. Well, rather than the $293 that you guys would naturally purchase it. So you could purchase it with the bundle or without the bundle. You could purchase it with the bonuses or without the bonuses. It's all of the work that I put in the last 4 years, in the last 5 years, actually, all of the research that I've done. And this course, rather than watching all of my videos, and because they could be random and you could sort of like lose the big picture because there's just so many videos, you guys get all of the content condensed in a course Trust me, people, if you guys purchase this, you won't regret it. If you haven't purchased it, hopefully this will push you towards it, because it's something that I believe in, and everyone who's purchased my course have been satisfied with it. And if they didn't like it, I always give their money back. I have never rejected a refund. All right. So purchase it right now. Click on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle, and I'll see you guys inside. And this is why I don't agree with spending 24/7 with your partners, because eventually you're going to grow tired of each other, right? You may not grow tired of them, but they might. And you don't want to take that chance. That's why during the pandemic, I had so much work during the pandemic. So much work. Because everyone was tiring each other out. And the only thing that was happening was that there was no distance between people. The power of absence is there to keep things fresh, to make sure that people don't take you for granted, to make sure that the natural burden of being around someone doesn't get too much over time. You need that space, even though you may not think you do. It's like people who smoke weed, right? I don't smoke weed as much as I used to. I haven't smoked in a week, but I would grow tired of smoking weed, because I wouldn't get high no more, right? And when you don't get high no more from it, you get frustrated and stressed. That's what happens. You grow, you wear out each other, and it's not even each other's fault. It's just that you guys are not giving each other space, you know. So it's not just for people who are just being completely disrespectful. It's also for relationships that are good, and you want to prevent the natural atrophy. And the way to do that is just to take a break. It's like taking a shower, right? It's like you want to prevent from smelling. Take a fucking shower. Get some air, you know. But the insecurity gets people to not even consider that, because they have such an anxious attachment style, you know. And it's kind of like you may think it's common sense, but when you're in love, it's not common sense. So if you sense that you're in a relationship where the power dynamics is completely turned to the other side, this is how you reverse it. It's almost like when you're addicted to a drug. The way to end the addiction is not to slowly stop taking the drug. The way to do it is to go cold turkey. That's right. You gotta go cold turkey. And in this case is this. The way to regain your power is not through staying with the person and standing up for yourself. No. You got to create that emotional lack. You got to create that emotional, you got to put them in an emotional state, because people only change when they feel fear of losing something. People only change when there's pain, right? That's how if you want to change somebody's brain, it's through trauma. Trauma makes the brain more malleable, right? And it completely reconfigures the brain. So that pain is this, taking a complete break. It's almost like a dopamine detox, right? You completely stop. You break up with them temporarily. You say, you know what, Jamal, Tyrone, Jake the quarterback, I gotta take a break from this. I don't like the way this is going. Take a break. And depending on this person, on the guy's reaction, it will tell you the level of narcissism, the level of self-entitlement that they have. You could learn a lot about this person. But the point is, take that break. And when you take that break, you gotta wait for them to come back to you. You can't go back to them. You gotta let them come back to you. And that's a problem. Is that a lot of you people have that anxiety that they won't come back, and so you won't take this step. You're too afraid. You're too scared. And you gotta develop that emotional strength. You gotta learn to master your emotions. Because in those moments, your emotions are gonna run wild. All of your fears will come to pass. All of your fears, you're gonna start fearing the worst. So that's why you gotta develop a meditation practice, people. A complete meditation practice. At least 20 minutes a day. It will allow you to handle pain more, and the pain will be there for a less period of time. Or pre-order my course, Emotional Mastery. It's gonna be out June 1st, I believe. I think so. June 1st, it's gonna be out. So be prepared for that, people, because that course is perfect for people who have emotional attachment issues, who are very needy, who have a submissive personality, who people take advantage of, who use men and women as their source of happiness, which causes a lot of toxic situations. And if you just have a general sense of unhappiness, this is the course for you, people. All right. So that's how you do it, right? You first develop a meditation practice so that you can feel confident that you're not going to go back to them as a coping mechanism. Because going back to the person who takes advantage of you, who has complete power over you, is not really there because you love them. It's there because you that's how you cope. You could love them and still be distant, but going back is literally a coping mechanism. Literally, you got to learn to cope in a healthy way through using presence and observing your emotions. Now, when they come back, you got to wait for them to come back. They cannot come back like it's easy like that. No. It's like when you're in the club. If the club tells you you can leave, but you got to pay to come back, most people won't leave the club. Why? Because they don't want to pay the price. When a guy comes back, you got to start saying, hey, look, I don't like the way me and you things ended. We got to set some new standards. And he's going to give you a weird look. He might react to you differently. He might say, what the fuck? What are you talking about? And it's going to be very uncomfortable for him and you. But you have to do that. Because if you do not do that, you're opening the door to, once again, first of all, they're not going to respect you that much, because they're gonna say, oh, look at that, she does that, and then like always, I'm back. No, you got to make them pay a price. You got to make sure that when they look themselves in the mirror, they say, I cannot believe I did that for her. You got to make sure that they do things that they never done for a woman. Set the standard. Say this: you're gonna have to stop trying to control my life. Stop trying to control my friends. You know what that is for yourself, but that's how you reclaim your power back. And make sure that those standards are set. Make sure that you follow through, because they're gonna test you. And if they test you, what do? You pull away. But what happens is this: a lot of the times, is that in that break, in the moment when you're not there, they're gonna realize your value. They're gonna realize, wow, I had something great. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna realize, wow. Like, it's like when you look back at your life through nostalgia. You say, wow, that period of my life was really great. It's the same thing. It's like nostalgia. He's like, man, that girl was amazing, man, and I lost her because of that. What usually happens is that they come back behaving better. The relationship becomes more balanced. You can still be submissive, but under condition. And it's a better dynamic for everyone, because they respect you, you respect yourself, and the relationship could flourish much better without as much resentment. But if you set your standards and the guy's not willing to respect you for it, then that just shows you that he's only there for the power. That just shows you he looks down upon you. He doesn't respect you. He sees you as a fleck of dust, and you shouldn't be with that type of person. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, a lot of people who listen to this will not do this because they're just too afraid. They're scared that this strategy is not going to work. And when I mean it's not going to work, I mean they're not going to get the person back. They're afraid that this person is actually going to walk away, because deep down that's what they believe. And most likely you're right. Most likely you were the wrong guy, and you need to heal. You need to learn to create your own source of positive emotions through developing a social circle, having friends, not making the guy all your friends. Developing a meditation practice, practicing mastery, getting good at something and consistently practicing it so that it can raise your self-esteem. All of those things are healthy sources of self-esteem. It's almost like when your heart beating, pumping your heart is great, but what's the difference between pumping your heart through coffee or through exercise? Is that there's a big difference, right? Coffee is not good for your heart, right? And the pumping, that's not the good type of pump. But the kind of pump that you get from running, from doing exercise, is actually the good type of pump, right? So it's the same thing here. So that's how you do it, people. It is pretty much the basis of my channel, and pretty much what I'm trying to communicate to you guys on a daily basis. And a lot of you ladies are listening to me, and you know what I'm saying is true, but you guys won't do it. You know, you have to do what I'm saying to you, or I'm closing the channel. All right. Anyways, don't forget, we're having a seminar in London at the end of July. I gotta buy my tickets, actually. If you guys need one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org or click on the description down below to get one-on-one coaching by me. I have a lot of free time, people. So you guys can purchase your sessions right now because I am on vacation. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.